Hi Hudson, make sure you have these notes printed before you start watching this video so that you can follow along just as if we were together in person. So we're going to go over lessons 25 and 26. Solutions of equations is where we'll start. The steps are to first eliminate the constant term on the side with the variable, and this will make sense to you in a minute whenever we go over it together. And then the last step, solve for the variable. Okay, let's take a look at example 1. Notice it says 4x plus 5 equals 17. The goal is always to get x alone, but there's an order in which we do this. We have to move this before we move this. So we move the positive 5 by subtracting 5 on both sides. So we end up with 4x equals 12. Then we divide both sides by 4 to get it off of the x, and x equals 3. Pretty easy, right? They call these two-step equations. Okay, do you want to give this one a try since it looks so similar to the one above? Pause the video and give it a shot and then come back and see how you do. All right. So first we have to subtract 6. And we get negative 5m is equal to 2. We divide by a negative 5, and we get m is equal to negative 2/5. Okay, same thing with this one. We add 4 to both sides. We get negative 7k is equal to a negative 17. We divide by a negative 7, and we get k is equal to a positive 17 over 7. Or if you wanted to change it to a mixed, you can do 2 and 3/7. Either one. Okay, fractions. Don't let those intimidate you. Just follow the same exact steps. We have to add 1/2, but we need to rename this to 2/4 because we need a common denominator, right? So we have 1/5 m is equal to 5/4. Do you remember how to get rid of a fraction that's stuck to a variable? How do we get rid of this right there? We multiply by its inverse. So 5 over 1, 5 over 1. So m is equal to 25 over 4, or 6 1/4. I'll accept either one. Okay, decimals, same exact way. You would just add this over here and then divide by a 0.4. And you can use your calculator on those if you'd like, but you get the point. Let's move on to lesson 26, more complicated equations. You're going to simplify by adding like terms. Be careful when you do that. Then you're going to eliminate the variable on one side, just like we were doing on this lesson. Then you're going to eliminate the constant and then solve for the variable. So all of those steps are just fancy talk for what we're about to do on example 1. What they meant went up there with all those steps is that you want to bring this to be with the other x, right? 3x and 5x go together, and 7 and negative 4 go together. They call those like terms. So if I were to subtract the 3x over here, and you can go either way. You could have subtracted the 5x to this side. I just like to have positive variables. So I moved this over here because I know I'm going to get a positive 2x over here. Because 5 minus 3x is 2x. Then I'm going to subtract 7 and move it over here. Right? Because you want the x's on one side and the constants on the other. So a negative 4 and a negative 7 make a negative 11. Divide both sides by 2, and you get x equals negative 11/2. Or if you feel more comfortable writing it as negative 5.5, I'm good with that as well. So not hard, just more steps. Okay, so this one's kind of messy. You want to clean up the left side of the equal sign and then clean up the right side of the equal sign by combining like terms. So you see how there's a 3x and a negative x? Well, we're going to put that together to be 2x, right? Because a 3x take away an x is 2x. Then we're going to take this 2 and this 4, and we're going to combine them to be 6. You see how much neater this is because it's been consolidated compared to all this? Now we're going to do the same thing on the right. So the negative 5 and the negative 4, they go together to make negative 9. Like I told you, I prefer a positive x, so I'm going to move him over here. That way I don't end up with the negative x. So this becomes 3x. And then I'm going to move him over here, right? Because I want the x's on one side and the constants on the other. So it's going to be negative 15. Divide both sides by 3. X equals negative 5. Okay. Here we have, actually, I'm going to have you pause the video and you try this one and then see how you feel. Try examples 3 and 4. So pause and do these two and then come back and check and see how you did. All right. So for this one, we see this is a negative 3k plus 10 equals 2k minus 5. And I'm going to add 3k so that I can get a positive 5k on the right. And then I'm going to add 5 to the left to get 15. And then divide by 5. And k is equal to 3. How'd you do? It's okay if you made a mistake, just pause the video and correct it so that way you can learn from your mistakes. Okay, example 4, we have a negative 5n plus 3 equals 5n minus 5. Then I'm going to add the 5n over here to be 10n, and I'm going to add the 5 over here to be 8. I'm actually going to keep that here. Divide by 10. So n is equal to 8/10, but we have to simplify, so we're going to write that as 4/5. Okay, that's lesson 25 and 26. I will make a different video for the next 2 sets of lessons.